your typical media nonsense, and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, here we are again, another day committed to being your consumer advocate, helping you understand your buying decisions, making you more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We want to help you win no matter what you're facing out there. If you're buying real estate, maybe you're looking to get a refinance done on your mortgage, financial advice, tech advice, all types of great attorneys. Reach out to the show hotline, 813-917-1894. We greatly appreciate those that do support the show by reaching out at 813-917-1894. It's an off-air number. You can call or text that line. Also hit the website up at consumerqb.com. consumerqb.com. We like to feature our real estate listings live on air. We help our sellers profit more and sell faster, utilizing our innovations with radio, TV, and internet marketing. We're in the top 100 out of 25,000 realtors here in Tampa Bay. 14663 Village Glen. Beautiful Carrollwood property. This is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath home. Pool, spa, fenced-in backyard, waterfall feature. Just a gorgeous property here in Tampa Bay. 2 bedrooms, 2.5-bath property right here in Tampa Bay. Just shy of 2,000 square feet. Carrollwood Village, very popular spot to be. Master bathroom features a jacuzzi tub, sauna, and tanning bed. And a beautiful property. 14663 Village Glen in Tampa. You can see all of our real estate listings at PlatinumMVPteam.kw.com.
This is God's country.
And a quick shout out to Victor and the team over at Chad Irrigation for all your irrigation and sprinkler needs. Make sure you give them a call. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Victor at Chad Irrigation. Longtime friends of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we got attorney Jason Kobal in the house and talk about work comp law from time to time, auto accidents. TampaWorkCompLaw.com is his website. And Jason, today you want to talk about these PIP, some of the PIP different situations happening with car accidents.
Yes. In Florida, when someone gets in a car accident, no matter whose fault it is, the first $10,000 comes out of your personal injury protection. So a lot of people are like, oh, why am I contacting my insurance? Why are you reporting it to my insurance? The other party caused the accident.
Yep.
The first $10,000 is out of your personal injury protection insurance, and it's mandatory by law. You have to have it. You have 14 days to get to the doctor to see an MD to see if your injury is severe enough, or else you have a $2,500 limit. And then if you don't get there within 14 days after the accident, you have no PIP whatsoever. But what I wanted to talk about is I'm seeing a reoccurrence of an issue. I see medical providers that do not want to use PIP to have their bills paid. They'd rather do a letter of protection with the lawyer, which is something you do after PIP is exhausted or paid through health insurance. But the law says for the first $10,000 until that PIP is exhausted, the medical providers have to send it through PIP to get paid. And why they don't want to do that is because PIP carriers are very, very strict about, they'll look at it with a fine-tooth comb, look at every little thing that was done, and if they're billing too much, which tends to happen quite a bit, they won't pay for it. And the law says the most that the injured party could be billed is 20% of the allowed charges. So I recently had a case, the medical facility billed $8,000 to PIP.
Wow.
PIP said the allowable amount was only $1,500.
Wow.
And then they tried to bill my client the difference. They can't do that.
Wow.
The most they could do is 20% of the allowed charges, determined by PIP. And then so the medical provider is calling me up all upset. I'm like, hey, don't be upset with me. Be upset with the PIP carrier. They're the ones who disallowed your charges.
Right.
But if you're an injured party and you still have PIP available, and you see that your bills aren't being sent to PIP, that's a huge. You're getting the short end of the stick there.
Yeah.
Because you want it to be consistent with the law, have it go through the PIP carrier. Hey, and if they turn down charges and say it's not allowed, that's not your problem. That's between them and the medical provider. But yeah, and then I had another case where the medical provider submitted their bill to PIP late. They only have so many days from the date of service to do it, and so the PIP denied it. Said no, you were too late by law. And then they tried to bill my client, but the law says no. If they submit it late to PIP and there was still PIP available, then they get paid zero. And it was
Wow.
$13,000. And the doctor's like, well, just give me $2,000. I'm like, no, man, you get zero.
Wow.
Because you submitted it late. It's all right here. So yeah, PIP law could be very beneficial to the injured party, and they might not even know it. So if you got in a car accident, give me a call, and I'll make sure that your bills are being handled accordingly.
Yeah,
that happens a lot.
Reach out to the show hotline. Any of those situations that come up that you're thinking like, wow, what should I do here? I wonder, what the rules are, what the law is. Reach out. That's where we want to put you in touch with our attorney bases. And Jason's one of the best on the program, longtime friend here on the show. 813-917-1894. Just call or text 813-917-1894. And yeah, so at no point, if you're injured on the job, should you be receiving as the worker, the injured worker, bills directly.
Right. Now that's my other I was just talking about PIP for car accidents, but for
Yep.
workers' comp, you nailed it, man. I mean, if you get hurt at work and they accepted your case, so when I say they accepted it, that means the workers' comp carrier is sending you to the doctors, they're paying you lost wages. If any of those, whether it's the hospital, the ambulance, if any medical care related to your case you get a bill for, they violated your rights. You should never, ever get a bill for anything. You don't owe that money. But if you don't call me or have someone do something about it, that could hurt your credit, because I've seen it 1,000 times. And they'll keep trying to collect even though they have no right to do that.
Yeah.
And it probably happens, I would say, sadly, in about 65% of my comp cases, my clients are getting billed.
Wow.
So it happens a lot.
Yeah. It's interesting, too. You think about, with insurance companies, it's time to, of course, they love to collect the payments, the premiums every month or every quarter, however you schedule it, your payment. But then, there's a lot of challenges right now. We've been talking with Doug Levi on the show. He's our insurance expert contributor. He sent me another one this morning. Florida home insurance market is potentially crashing. I mean, a lot of stuff happening on the insurance side. Demotech, there's an article here. Demotech prepared to downgrade up to 20 Florida carriers as legislative relief hope fades.
I need to talk to him.
Yeah.
Just on a personal level, my homeowners, I just got a letter.
Yep.
It said the company that was providing us the coverage is I don't know if they're going out of business or what, transferred it to another company. And I don't even know the terms or what, or so I have to dig in to see what the heck happened here.
Yeah.
But just they did this on their own apparently.
Yeah. Well, some of these
say.
companies are going out of business.
That's probably what it is.
So they're having to assume those policies. Now, from my understanding, is it's very similar to a mortgage. A lot of times you close a deal and the mortgage company is ABC, but then it turns out to be XYZ mortgage. They can't change the terms of the agreement, but they just end up changing the servicing. So I bet you that's the same thing. It's similar to that. But yeah, there's a challenge. There's a very difficult challenge right now through the insurance markets in Tampa Bay, and I think it affects not only property and casualty but also your auto.
Interesting.
Yeah. Some big time stuff going on there. In the article that he sent, it's also talking about how they're asking. Last week, Petrelli and Demotech Management wrote Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, Florida Senate President Wilton Simpson, Florida House Representative Speaker as Chris Sprouse, asking them to call a special session, legislative session, to address the crisis in the state's property insurance market.
It wouldn't surprise me if they're attacking the auto insurance, because if you remember, our state Congress actually passed the bill to change the PIP law and eliminate PIP. The governor vetoed it.
Yes.
And that's why it didn't change. So this is probably like a plan B,
Right.
But,
yeah, exactly.
If you could forward me that'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. I will. So we're talking with attorney Jason Kobal here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, online at tampaworkcomplaw.com. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on too, geopolitically. You think about, stuff happening, and then, you and I dive into politics every now and then, and, it's kind of fun, you think about it. But, the election last year, or, 2 years ago now, year and I guess 18 months, but you look at the cover up that was the Hunter laptop, and these last couple of weeks, New York Times, they're all coming out saying, oh yeah, it actually was real. That was we blocked you on Twitter, we banned you here. All that stuff was not true.
Man, I tell you, and they're doing it at the perfect time too, with everything going on in Ukraine. I had a great point made before the show, but it's sickening because they've admitted now that. Prior to the election, what did they say? They said it was Russian misinformation. Mm-hmm. Big tech. I couldn't even post about it. You get a warning that you're forwarding misinformation if you literally forwarded that article that the New York Post did.
Yep.
About the laptop, and now we know that it was not only true, but there's a grand jury right now. Hunter possibly could get indicted for the evidence contained on that laptop. So it was absolutely true. And what's scary is there was 51 ex-FBI, DOJ members that signed a statement saying that they felt, in their opinion, it was Russian misinformation.
Right.
So now we know that there was 51 liars there.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean that's major, and if that's not election interference, I don't know what is, because obviously that story would have reached a lot more people if it wasn't censored.
Yep.
And and how much of it affect, there's no way to know, but that's definitely undeniable at this point, and sickening. It's a shame.
Yeah, and that's just one of the things that happened in the 2020 election.
I like that one because at least now it's undeniable. No one could tell me that I'm spreading misinformation now when I say Hunter's laptop has some terrible evidence on it. That's actually
and another
true.
one that's really undeniable also is Dinesh D'Souza's movie coming out, 2,000 Mules. I don't know if you've seen it.
I know all about that. Yeah, that's the Secretary of State Raffensperger from True to Vote. There was a whistleblower who his identity has not been released, but he gave them, according to Raffensperger, credible information that the ballot harvesting occurred. So he opened an investigation, but personally, I don't know if he's slow playing it or what. So far, all he did was, from the Elections Commission, is he got permission to issue subpoenas. So I guess they're going out now. So we'll see. My prediction is, and it's just a prediction, I think that the whistleblower probably has an attorney who's going to fight his identity being released, and they're going to have to use his evidence without knowing exactly who he is, and we'll see if that's enough. But but if that's true in the swing states, and then combined with the the concealment of the Hunter laptop story, you start adding all these things together. Yeah, and it's really sickening.
Yeah, and the Zucker boxes, over $500 million in Zucker boxes strategically placed in those highly Democratic voter areas.
And that's what the ballot harvesting was all about. Sending the ballots, having people, the harvesters, take it to those ballot boxes in the wee hours of the morning.
Yes.
And stuffing the ballot.
That's right. And they got them on cameras. It was the Freedom of Information Act that allowed the access to the video cameras. And it's also very non-deniable, allegedly, from listening to Charlie Kirk and Dinesh D'Souza, with the pings on the cell phones. Not pings. I think it's a new technology.
No, absolutely.
Ping is an old technology. I don't know. But something along those lines, because they know, okay, well, here's these people that went here to here to there to there, and they went to these drop boxes. And then, by the way, they're taking a selfie to prove that they were there.
That's the best part, you know. And they're taking a selfie with the ballots in their hands at the box. Yeah. So that's great evidence. I mean, if they could get those pictures, I don't know. That's pretty strong evidence.
Yeah, exactly.
So hopefully we'll see where that goes. But I consider that in the investigation stage. But that admission about the laptop was something else.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Absolutely unbelievable. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back more with attorney Jason Kobal here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Reach out to Jason for your legal needs here in Tampa Bay. Kobal Law, TampaWorkCompLaw.com. And we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more with attorney Jason Kobal here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you've been listening to the phenomenal Brandon Rhymes, the Consumer Quarterback Show.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or ConsumerQB.com.
Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or PlatinumMVPteam.com.
Have you desired more income and more freedom in your life? Now is your time. Keller Williams Realty has just launched our own real estate school, and you can get licensed for free. I'm Brandon Rhymes, host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And for the first 3 people who reach out, I will personally coach you. 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. ConsumerQB.com. ConsumerQB.com.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here. Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We want to help you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing. And we are part of the Keller Williams Sports and Entertainment division now. So really excited about that. A lot of cool things happening there. Getting commercial deals under contract as well. We've got some pretty big contracts going commercial on the commercial side. So if you're in residential, of course, commercial, and vacant land, we can help you with that as well. We've got a property here at 14626 Loredon Drive in Seminole. This is a $1 million listing. Beautiful property. You've got 180-degree views of the intercoastal waterways. You can take your boat. You got a private boat dock, and you take your boat to lunch or dinner and enjoy the best of Tampa Bay. 2 bedrooms, 3 bath, 1,330 square feet, double master layout, waterfront dock home. Fast access to the Gulf. You're about 5 minutes from Indian Shores and Indian Rocks beaches. Beautiful property. Got a heated pool, tennis courts as well. 14626 Loredon Drive, number 14, right here in Seminole. That's Pinellas County, Tampa Bay. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
All I've got's love for Love City.
All right, we got attorney Jason Kobal in the house. Kobal Law online at tampaworkcomplaw.com. And Jason, yeah, we talk a lot about business. We talk about politics. And, you know, I had that heart surgery about a year and a half ago coming up. But what are you doing recreation-wise? What are you doing to combat the stress and to work out?
I'm glad you asked me. And, you know, I wasn't on the inaugural USF football team like you, but I was a heck of a wide receiver back in high school, and I went to a Division II school, Shippensburg, for football. But
nice.
It didn't work out there. But anyway, I love athletics, so I've always done something. I played in the Law League, Hillsborough County Law League for basketball for years, but now I'm in my mid-40s, so I'm looking for something else that I could do reasonably and to stay in shape. And my buddy asked me to play pickleball, which I'd never even heard of.
Yeah.
So I bought a racket and read the rules and everything, and man, I love it.
Yeah.
It's fun. So it's like a cross between tennis, I would say, and ping pong.
Yeah.
Because your paddle or racket is very light, kind of like a ping pong paddle. You use a wiffle ball with a bunch of holes in it.
Yeah.
So no matter how hard you hit it, it kind of slows down with a wiffle ball with all those holes in it. And then the court is similar to a tennis, but it's smaller.
Yep.
It's about 50 feet across from baseline to baseline. The net's 3 feet up. There's a 7-foot area on either side of the net that you can't step into if the ball's in the air. You have to wait for it to hit. Other than that, you can't let it hit bounce, just like tennis. One unique aspect about it is the scoring. You could only score if you're serving. So somebody starts the game as you're serving. If you get a point, you score. If the other side gets a point, it's just their serve. So it doesn't change the score.
Yep.
And that's how it goes. Usually play to 11, win by 2. But very, very cool. It's fun. And seems to be a lot of middle-aged, older people playing it. So I think it's a good fit. It's a lot less moving around than like actual tennis.
Right.
So and it seems to be very popular.
Yeah, and you get a good sweat going.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So I recommend it.
Yeah.
If you ever want to play, let's do it.
I definitely will. I was just kind of thinking in my mind, I need to set something up around my house. But so you have a net going across the middle.
It's just like tennis. You know, there's a net, except it's shorter. It's only 3 feet high.
Yep.
And so you gotta hit it over the net. If it bounces twice on the other side, you win. Same thing. You know, if you hit it in, you win.
Yep.
When you serve, you have to serve diagonal over to their service box, and it's got to bounce in there or else it's out. So yeah. Very similar, but definitely a cross between those two, but a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Good way to get the exercise in. I like working out with Alex Lima, black belt fitness and martial arts, and doing some jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, and different things there. And then mixing it up, because the old school just going out and going for a jog or a walk, it get boring with that. I like to listen to my podcast, so that's the one thing that's kind of cool. I kind of catch up on things, or even an audiobook. But yeah, I think I've found that over the years. The more you can mix it up. One day pickleball, one day, jiu-jitsu. Yeah,
they say that it shocks the muscles, I guess,
right.
to mix it up a little bit than doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
I was doing the kickboxing a couple of years ago, and I tore my Achilles, and man, that ended that quick because that was painful.
Yeah,
that set me back a little bit. But.
I tore an ACL, so that's why I don't play hoops or anything anymore, or flag football. All right, so we got attorney Jason Kobal in the house here, Kobal Law, and another area of your practice is Social Security disability. What's happening in that space?
Well, I think everybody by now knows that the system's running out of money. It's inevitable. It's probably not gonna be there. Social Security retirement even when I'm that age. but we'll see, unless, our lovely congressmen and women could figure something out. But what I'm seeing is, because it's running out of money, I see a lot of ridiculous decisions. People that I know deserve it getting denied, because the first 2 decisions are made in-house. They're not made by a judge, so you can't really appeal it or have it sent to federal court to be examined. When you get before the judge, then you get to present evidence, and if they make a bad decision, you could appeal it. But it takes like 2.5 years to get to that point.
Jeez.
So I see a lot of that. And then, just of late, like last couple of months, I had 3 cases where they lost my letter of representation.
Wow.
It's like, how the heck is that possible?
Wow.
So, you send in the letter of representation, you send in the appeal of the initial denial, because I never take a case unless it's denied at least once, because I don't want to get money for nothing. If someone deserves it, I let them apply on their own. Only if they deny it, I take it. But you lose that letter, lose my appeal, they don't even know the appeal happened. It creates a big mess. So I think they're very overworked, maybe understaffed. Something's going on where there's a lot more mistakes than usual. So if you're in that system alone, don't do it. Give me a call.
Yeah.
I don't get paid unless I win. So if I don't think you have a good case, I'll tell you. But if I think you have a good case, we'll win, and I get paid at that time.
Social Security disability. So if they're denying a claim, saying, "Hey, no, you don't deserve
You're not
this."
disabled. That's usually what they say.
Right.
Yep. Then give me a call.
Okay, that's Kobal Law. Yep. TampaWorkCompLaw.com. Kobal Law online, of course, you can find them online. It's got a Facebook page as well out there, and connect with them there. So yeah, Social Security disability. That's one thing I think about too, is just the the bureaucracy of government, and even apparently in the courts, they're missing documents. You're seeing that type of thing. What are you scanning documents in? They're just not getting them, or something along those lines.
This day and age, it's like, how could that even be possible?
Right.
But yeah, no, scary times, especially when you see it in the court system. And I'm starting to see more and more of political bias and things popping up. And man, that's a shame, because that's really, Lady Justice is supposed to be blind.
Right.
And if we can't rely on that, the rule of law, then we're really in trouble.
Check out this poll that kind of caught my ear. I believe it was this morning. I was listening to Bannon's podcast.
It is everywhere, and essentially what Disney's doing right now with this huge announcement that's getting leaked out is they're saying they're going to make up for what Governor DeSantis did. The little secret, Steve, that no one really has been talking about until recently, is that these radicals, these sexual deviants, have taken over our public school system, and they've been using the billions of taxpayer dollars that we give them every single year to groom our children. Steve, there was just a poll that's resurfaced from Axios. I want to read the numbers to you. Traditionalists, this is LGBTQ identification by generation. Traditionalists, these are people born before 1946. 0.8% identified as LGBTQ. Baby boomers, 2.6%. Gen X, 4.2%. Millennials, 10.5%. Gen Z, these are people born 1997 to 2003. 20.8% of that generation identifies as LGBTQ. Now, you tell me that there's not an agenda here to groom our children.
Isn't it crazy? I mean, so you look back at, people back in the day, think about our grandparents, right? 50s, 60s, they're working. They're trying to put food on the table. They're canning tomatoes to have money left over, or have food during a bad time. Now it's more about, these social and political grooming is essentially.
I don't want to be disrespectful to the LGBTQ community. I have relatives that are gay, but, that particular law, it is about people who are 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 years old. Yep. And so I think the media has been a little dishonest about what exactly it entails. Maybe did it have to be done? I was like, well, how often is stuff like that pushed at that young age? Hopefully not at all. So I was thinking it might be a political stunt, but then again, I've seen people fighting against it, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, even our mayor here in Tampa Bay, don't say gay bill. It's like
that's not what it says.
That's not
what
it is. Yeah, exactly. Don't be grooming the kids, and it's parental rights. If you're going to do something, let the parents know about it.
I agree.
Jason, always a pleasure having you in, man. Kobal Law, just find them online. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community, and we'll see you on this flip side of this break here coming up.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Johnny, I was informed that we have scheduled maintenance to do in that studio today at the conclusion of this recording session. So we need to start right away, please, after you're done. So it went to voicemail twice. We're having him call us now.
listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your real estate deals. And we got a hot listing here at 14121 7th Street in Dade City. We got a restaurant for sale up in Dade City. Beautiful property here. We'll have our producer put that on the screen for us. So 7th Street, Dade City. This is a property that is opportunity for the management to live in the establishment. 1 bedroom, 1 bath property at 7th Street in Dade City. Plenty of parking. All the real estate is included. So looking for that restaurateur, that entrepreneur wanting to relocate their business to downtown, bustling downtown Dade City. This is an established restaurant since 1990 as well. The sale includes the furniture and equipment. Perfect entrepreneurial investment. Plenty of parking at 14121 7th Street, Dade City. And you can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, we got our friend Larry Harbolt on the line. Larry Harbolt, real estate investor, published author, LarryHarbolt.com. Welcome to the show, Larry.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Hey, my pleasure, man. And so, yeah, we've had some great interviews with you over the years, and we talk a lot about real estate investing, the market fundamentals, what's happening in the market. What do you think? Where do you think we're at right now in terms of the real estate market here, specifically to Tampa Bay?
Well, the Tampa Bay it's still a hot market. I don't see it diminishing much. Properties that hit the market are gone in just a few days. So I don't see much of a change. I don't think it's going to change much until, we stop getting the influx of people from the Northeast and California coming in. So I think it's going to stick with us for a while.
Yeah, I agree. There's no slowdown on the horizon. You can't get a U-Haul coming from California or New York, anymore. The cost of U-Hauls and there's some of these different statistics that you see to travel, and people are tired of being told what to do, locked down, overtaxed, and jobs, of course, are better here as well, and the job market and a lot of things that are affecting that. So, what would be your advice out there then to folks that are looking to try to get into properties, try to win properties in a sense?
Well, I think it's kind of futile if you're getting in a bidding war on every property that's listed in the MLS. That's why an associate and we have built an app for strictly off-market real estate for investors. And I think that's going to be a key to help a lot of people get into the investment game, because these will be properties that others other than investors don't know that are for sale.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I remember you telling me that last time. Tell me again. Tell me about the app.
Well, the app right now is in a testing stage. It should be ready in a couple of weeks for use. It's a subscription site, and it's called Wadzoo, WADZOO. It's an app you can get on your phone. It's not operational yet. We're doing, like I said, a beta test, but it'll be ready in a couple of weeks, and if anybody's interested, they can contact me at larryharbolt@gmail.com, and I can get you hooked up and get you started. But I think it's going to be really big. We've got two different levels on it. One level of the subscription is for 50-mile radius of where you live, and the other one is for the entire United States. And what I like about it is if you get the subscription for the whole United States, if you see people or other people around the country that go on this app and they're looking for property in Florida, it's a lot more coverage that you'd normally get. And these, again, are off-market, nothing listed.
Yeah, that's a big deal to have these off-market properties. And talk. Let's speak a little bit about what happened over the last 6 to 12 months. You had these big companies, these big hedge fund companies, the Zillows and the other companies coming in and buying inventory, and then you saw that they lost a lot of money on some of these. What do you think? What's your reaction to that?
Well, it's hard to compete with them. If you're an investor, because they're using cheap money and I don't think they really care if they make a profit in the short term.
Right.
I think they're buying for the long term, and it's really hard to compete with those people. They're picking up the low-hanging fruit that are out there, but they can pay because, here again, they don't care if they make a profit quickly or not.
Yeah, exactly. So they get a long-term play. I had an interesting thing come up on one of my properties that had multiple listings. We did an open house over the weekend, mega open house. Had a lot of people through. I think we had like 35 people come through. Received a lot of offers, some pretty good offers. But then I had a offer that came in through a company. I don't want to say the name just to give them exposure, but the company came in and it was basically where the realtor had to qualify the property through this bigger overarching companies, probably some type of a hedge fund. They qualified them, and then they qualified the house based on X number of desktop appraisal. So then the offer comes in, it's all cash. And I talked to the realtor because it was very automated. You saw a text come through, you saw an email come through, very automated. And when the text came through, I replied, I was like, this looks like spam. I'm not clicking that link. And then I ended up talking to, one of the representatives called me and explained the program. And I said, okay, wow, this is the first I've seen this. But it was interesting. So the buyer is actually a financed buyer. But what this cash company does come in and they guarantee that the deal will close as cash, and they also guarantee that it will close at the sales price, even if they have to kick in over the appraised value. And it's going back to the same philosophy that you said, Larry, that they don't need to make quick short-term cash. They can make this as a long-term hold play.
Right, but they're betting that the market is going to continue to go up.
Right.
And, that may happen, but with the interest rates starting to move up a little bit here and there, in the short term, I don't think that's going to make much difference to too many buyers. But it eventually, if they go up as many points as they're talking about, it's going to make a big difference, and that'll slow the market down considerably.
Where do you think they're going to go? Actually, somebody sent me a text the other day. They said they were listening to Sirius Radio or one of these other ones, and they sent me a text saying that it was going to go into the teens.
Well, I remember when I got started in this business as an investor back in 1979, that was during the Carter years, interest rates were 18 to 22%.
Mm.
And you can't make money at 18 to 22%, even in an inflated market. It's virtually impossible because everything's going to interest.
Right.
And it's you might as well have an interest-only loan because very, very little is coming off the principal every month.
Right. Yeah.
So I hate to see that, or I hate to think that that's going to happen, because it's not good for anybody when those interest rates go that high.
It's not. Yeah. Here, I'm going to play a quick clip here as well about printing money.
Governor DeSantis, this whole throwdown about the anti-grooming parental rights bill, where is that going to go, particularly Disney and some of these corporate types from out of state, the Hollywood crowd? You saw, we played the other day, Anthony, where they start the Academy Awards for the whole world, mocking the citizens of Florida. Tell me, in your mind, because you're running for the House now, but you're a pretty good strategic thinker. How does this play out down in Florida?
Well, I hate to sound contrarian, but my problem with the bill was it didn't go far enough. It stops at the third grade. I think it should have.
That's labeled wrong. So we labeled that clip wrong. It says printing money, but it's not. It's about the anti-grooming bill. But anyway, so we're talking about the inflation. We got record inflation. You've got printing of money. You've got legal theft by the Federal Reserve, and that's affecting people's wallets. That's affecting people's grocery bills. And the people that it's affecting most is the middle and lower income people, Larry.
That's right. Well, the thing that scares me more than anything is I heard rumors that the present administration wants to take capital gains tax up to as high as 43%.
Wow.
So you'd lose half of your profit to these taxes. And that's definitely going to hurt the investment business.
Yeah.
How can you afford to lose half of your profit? It just there's costs in owning real estate, and right. You got costs added onto those capital gains. It's going to affect the market tremendously.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly. And they don't care. The elites, the politicians, the political class, the folk, the in crowd, like the cronies, they don't care. They want the middle class to be weak. They want those self-employed, those middle income earners. They want them to be weak. They want them to lose their purchasing power. They want them to lose their ability to turn out and support certain candidates, et cetera. So that's what's happening here. It's they're ushering in these high rates, these taxes. They're growing the government at every step of the way. I think they just voted themselves a 20% increase. By the way, last week I heard something along those lines where they voted themselves a big pay increase while other Americans are struggling.
Well, I think just like my dad used to say, that the trouble with the government, they want everybody hungry, because when you're hungry you can be controlled. But
exactly.
When you have a strong middle class, they got their bellies full and they got some money in their pocket. They're hard to control.
That's
and
right.
I think they're trying to take us down to where we will do what we're told when we're told. And some of us have a real problem with that.
Yep, that's right. Yep, exactly.
We've worked hard to get where we're at, and then you got a bunch of loonies that want to change it to benefit people that have never worked for it.
Yep.
It sticks in our craw.
That's right. Absolutely. It's a challenging time. It's part of the Great Reset, ushering in that, ultimately they don't want you to own anything. They say you're not going to own anything. They want everybody to be a renter and, have that situation where you don't have personal property. The World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab and all those cronies. But we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with Larry Harbolt here, LarryHarbolt.com. You can check him out online. Consumer Quarterback Show as well, ConsumerQB.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors. Support the show by supporting this local content right here in Tampa Bay by going to ConsumerQB.com. We've got attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors, all types of tech experts, insurance experts, and others. Of course, great home service providers as well at ConsumerQB.com. Quick break, coming back with Larry Harbolt here. We'll be right back.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here. We are looking for real estate investors. We've got a new relationship bringing us a tremendous amount of off-market real estate investment opportunities. So text the word investor to our hotline, 813-750-0550. Off-market real estate investment opportunities. Text investor to 813-750-0550. Brandon Rhymes here, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, looking for real estate investors. Send us a text.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. I'd like to feature our listings here on air. 9221 New York Avenue in Hudson. We got 30 acres for sale up here in the Pasco County area. Hudson, 9221 New York Avenue in Tampa Bay. Great opportunity. Opportunity zone. Zoning is AR, single family res, and also industrial. So it's a great opportunity. You can see all of our real estate listings. By the way, we got about a dozen total vacant land listings. So anybody looking for land, we got some great opportunities here in Tampa Bay, about a dozen or so listings. Platinum MVP team.kw.com.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet.
And we got our friend Larry Harbolt on the line here. Larry is a longtime real estate investor. He's an educator, a teacher as well. And Larry, what else are you seeing in the real estate space, specifically to the investor side? A lot of people are, fighting over the same inventory.
Yeah, and that's why we created this app that we've got, that Wadzoo app. It come from 2 years of hard work putting this together. But if you can find properties off market, there's a better chance you're going to be able to put a deal together with another investor. And the thing about this app is we just get a subscription, a monthly subscription, and we do not take any part of the transaction. It's investor to investor. We don't take part of the deal. We're not interested in that. We're just trying to, get people from all over the country to subscribe so they can do business amongst each other.
Yeah, that's cool. So you're providing that service to basically facilitate real estate investment and opportunities off MLS. That's the big key, right? Most people say, well, once it's hit the MLS, it's kind of, it's seen by so many people. They don't like that, right, Larry?
Right. Well, everybody's fishing in the same fish bowl. You got to get outside of that if you want to find any deals. Now, if you're looking for properties that are less than perfect in condition, I've talked many times about paying the seller every month instead of getting a bank loan. And an interesting point, I did a 4-day training last week, and I had people in from all over the country, and we strictly talk about seller financing. And people were talking about, you having to qualify like you do at a bank. I've been doing this business 43 years. I've sat at hundreds of kitchen tables to negotiate a deal with a seller. Only once was I ever asked for my credit report.
Wow.
Because people don't think of that when you're dealing with human beings. They just want to know that you will pay. And there's many, many things I teach on how we can make sure that the payments get made so that it doesn't harm the seller.
Right.
And, if you can sit down with somebody and talk to them and show them that you can pay them every month and give them a better deal, they'll end up with more money. It many times works. Doesn't work for everybody, but the problem is too many people today, they're going for the gold and they want top dollar. Well, see, I can give you top dollar if you will give me my terms. And I've got to be able, if I'm going to buy it as an investment, I got to be able to either buy it below market if I'm going to fix it and resell it, or if I'm going to rent it, I've got to have a payment low enough that will allow me to cash flow it. So it's either price or terms. And I think this is a key that most people don't understand, because all they know is you go to a bank, the bank tells you what you can pay for it based on a conservative appraisal. They tell you what the payment's going to be. They tell you what the interest rate is going to be. And they tell you how long you have to pay it back. Mm-hmm. When you're dealing with a human being, all of those parts are adjustable.
Right.
We can do whatever. I mean, I make the joke, but I could pay a seller off in bubble gum if they would accept it as a payment for their property.
Right.
So it's whatever the seller and you can agree on. And there's many ways that I can show people my deal is better for them in many ways than if they took all cash and got killed with capital gains tax and recapture of depreciation in the year of the sale, which is what happens when they get all cash. If they'll take payments over a long term, they only pay the capital gains on the 12 payments they receive in a calendar year. So it's done over time, not all at once in the year of the sale. So you end up with more money. It's just an income stream.
Right. Yeah, it makes more sense, especially for certain situations. Maybe somebody that is, in a certain income bracket, different scenarios. What can the average investor, maybe a newer investor, look for those scenarios? What do you look for, Larry?
Well, in my own business, I look for bread and butter neighborhoods, and what I mean by that, I'm looking for neighborhoods where it's like a married couple. The husband works construction, the wife works in a beauty salon or something like that.
Yep.
And the reason for that is because that's where 75% of America lives. And we've got more buyers and sellers in that market. But I need properties that are unloved. Mm-hmm. What I mean by that, something that I can get below market because of its current condition, because I have to fix it up. But if I can buy it with the right terms,
mm-hmm.
that will allow me to afford the property, because every rental property is a business unto itself. It has to pay for itself from the income it brings in.
Right.
And once you learn that simple formula that I use, then give them their price. I give an example of how I can pay more for a property than what it'll appraise at if I'm going to keep it long term,
right,
and not sell it. I can make that deal work, end up paying over a shorter period of time than a 30-year loan, and making a lot more profit on that deal. So it's how you structure the deal. That's what I teach.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. We're talking with Larry Harbolt here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. And Larry, I love this topic. It's a way also, with Keller Williams, we launched a real estate school. We launched Keller Williams Real Estate School. It's a free online class. It's a free online course, and folks can get, licensed, and a couple different angles there. You can do it, of course, if you want to go full time, but a lot of people are opting to go as a part-time kind of a side hustle, side gig, and try to, find referrals, and then simply refer the business to us, the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, and make a 25% referral fee as a part-time side hustle type gig. But, and I think somewhat similar is true with the real estate investing. People get a start in real estate investing and, they have their day job, but this is something that people can kind of, ease into, kind of start learning how to generate leads. And have you seen people successfully do that over your career?
Oh, yeah. I've got students all over the country. I've got one single mom from Greenville, South Carolina. She just talked to me a few days ago, and after she took my 4-day training, she bought 8 houses with seller financing terms last year.
Nice.
So when people say, well, nobody will do that, that's not true. It's you just haven't explained the benefits of it. And that's what you got to do. You got to show them that your deal is better for them monetarily than if they get all cash and lose most of it to the taxes in the year of the sale, if they don't live in it. Let me make that caveat. If they don't live in it, if it's an investment property they have. If they live in it, IRS Section 121 says that a single person can take up to $250,000 of their gain tax-free. A couple can take $500,000 if they've lived in the house any 2 of the last 5 years. So I don't look for those houses. I don't want houses that they live in. I want houses that they have, that they've held for investment, because I don't care if they live next door to it. They have to pay all of the capital gains if they get cash in the year of the sale.
Right.
So I go for the bread and butter houses that they don't live in decent areas, not war zones, but in decent areas where people want to live.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And then there's different ways to try to market that. What's better, online, offline, combination, telemarketing, postcards? What's the best way?
Well, for me, I've run a weekly real estate investor meeting, and I've done that 23 and a half years, every Monday night. And it's strictly networking. People have properties they want to pitch. People are looking for properties. It's a share and everybody win type situation. My wife and I have done letters. We send letters to non-owner occupied, free and clear property owners. We've been doing that for years. And we just look for people that own property they don't live in, that they might want to sell. I buy lists of those people. I've got a list source where you can get just that, or basically anything you want, but that's what we do. And my wife sends out letters, and it's been very successful for us.
Yeah, that's awesome. You got to find the deal before it's a deal, and then treat the people right. Give them the information. Be, credible information source. Show them how the deal makes more sense when you're structuring it that way versus all the money up front. That makes a lot of sense, Larry.
Yeah, and my letter, we don't do postcards because I don't think they've got the same. We don't do yellow letters. Our specific letter, the first paragraph says, "Hi, my name is Larry Harbolt. I'm an investor looking for a few properties for my retirement program. We see you own a property in Pinellas or Hillsborough County that you don't live in. Would you be interested in selling?"
All right, Larry, that's our time, my friend. LarryHarbolt.com. Check him out online, LarryHarbolt.com and ConsumerQB.com. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rhymes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.